Every secret whispered to the shadows loses its power to haunt us. Subscribe to Tears and Truth for stories that unravel the ghosts we carry, both seen and unseen. The story begins 3 months after her sister's funeral. 28-year-old Lila Hart books a one-way ticket to a remote Colorado cabin. She doesn't tell a soul she's leaving. But solitude, she'll learn, is a mirror, and hers has a reflection that won't stay buried. Lila's tires crunched over the gravel driveway, the sound swallowed by the throaty silence of the Colorado wilderness. Pine trees stood like sentinels, their branches clawing at the bruised twilight sky. The cabin, a shabby A-frame with a sagging porch, looked nothing like the Airbnb photos. Good, she thought. No Wi-Fi. No people. No reminders. Her sister Evie would have hated it. You'd rather run than fix what's broken, Evie's voice hissed in her memory, sharp as the night Lila had last heard it. 2 glasses of Pinot Noir deep, Evie had slammed her palm on the table. You're a coward, Lila. Always have been. That fight had been about the lake house. About their mother's will. About money Lila didn't have and Evie refused to lend. 3 hours later, Evie's Tesla had skidded off a rain-slicked highway. Lila heaved her duffel bag onto the cabin's moth-eaten couch. Dust motes swirled in the beam of her flashlight. She'd chosen this place for its emptiness, its lack, no art, no clocks, no hum of appliances. But as she lit the propane stove, a cold draft snaked through the room. Behind her, the fireplace erupted in a crackling blaze. She froze. The hearth had been cold, the logs untouched. Now, flames licked hungrily at what that hadn't been there moments ago. Heat pricked her cheeks, but the air smelled wrong, not of pine smoke, but of gardenias. Evie's perfume. Stop it, Lila muttered. Grief did strange things. Guilt, stranger, but that night, as she lay sleepless in the loft, something scratched at the window. Not branches. Fingernails. And when she mustered the courage to look, the fogged glass bore a single word, written as if by an invisible hand. LIAR. Morning sunlight exposed the cabin's decay, water stains bled down the walls, floorboards groaned like dying animals. The word on the window had vanished. A nightmare, Lila told herself. A stress hallucination. She spent the day hiking, crunching through knee-deep snow until her lungs burned. Evie had loved the cold. At 16, she dragged Lila ice fishing on Lake Superior, their breath hanging in clouds as they jigged for trout. You're shivering because you're scared, not because you're cold, Evie had teased. Always the fearless one. The alive one. By dusk, Lila's gloves were soaked. She turned back, following her own footprints, until they branched. A second set trailed hers, barefoot, toes dragging like a child drawing in sand. Her pulse thundered. The prints led to a frozen creek where a figure in a red pea coat, Evie's coat, stood facing the ice. Evie. The name tore from her, raw, the figure didn't turn. Lila stumbled forward, snow filling her boots. 5 feet away, she froze. The coat was threadbare, moth-eaten, its collar crusted with ice. Empty, but when she returned to the cabin, a Polaroid sat on the kitchen table. A photo she'd never taken, Lila asleep in the loft, her face streaked with tears. Scrawled in red marker on the white border, you left me first. That's when the sobbing started. Not hers. It came from the woods. The sobbing led Lila to a crawl space beneath the cabin. Inside, she found a rusted box stuffed with journals belonging to Clara and Marie Wheeler, sisters who'd owned the cabin in 1976. The entry started with mundane gripes. Marie stole my sweater again, before curdling. Clara's handwriting spiraled. She's in the walls. She's always in the walls. The final entry, smeared with brown stains, I didn't mean to push her. But she won't stop laughing. That night, Lila dreamt of Evie. Not the polished real estate broker she'd become, but the 14-year-old version, knee-high Doc Martens, hair dyed black as an oil spill. They were in their childhood treehouse. You used to beg me to run away with you, Dream, Evie said, peeling a Band-Aid off her knee. Now you're the one who fled. Lila woke to a crash. The loft's trapdoor had slammed shut. The cabin's temperature plummeted. Frost veined the walls, forming words. You did this, you did this, I'm sorry. Lila screamed. The apology ignited something. The propane stove flared. The journals burst into blue flame. And Evie materialized, not a shadow, but solid, her neck bent at the same grotesque angle from the crash report. You're not real, Lila whispered. Evie's head snapped upright. You made me real. Her voice was a chorus, adult Evie, teen Evie, the 6-year-old who'd sung lullabies after their dad left. You lied to Mom. You lied at the funeral. You lied when you said you loved me. Lila lunged for the door. Evie's hand seized her wrist, flesh spongy and cold. Stay. We're finally talking. The blizzard hit at midnight. Snow piled against the cabin like a mob, howling to get in. Lila barricaded herself in the bathroom, Evie's laughter drilling through the walls. Remember our last fight? The ghost's voice oozed under the door. You said I wish you'd disappear. Be careful what you wish for, huh? Lila's phone, dead for days, suddenly buzzed. A notification flickered, one new voicemail. She pressed play. Lila? It's Evie. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called you a coward. Let's talk tomorrow. A horn blared. Tires screeched. The voicemail ended. Evie had tried to apologize. After their fight, Lila had never listened. The bathroom mirror fogged. Evie wrote with her finger, I waited for you. I didn't know. Lila screamed. Liar. The mirror flashed. The lights died. Lila fled to the attic, Evie's footsteps squelching behind her. In the dark, she tripped over a rope, no, a noose, knotted and sun-bleached. Clara Wheeler's? Her own, you want me dead? Do it. Lila hissed. Evie materialized, her face a shattered puzzle. I don't want you dead. I want you honest. Asterisk. She lunged, her fingers plunging into Lila's chest. Not flesh, but memory. A 12-year-old Lila watching Evie sob after her first breakup. Don't tell Mom, Evie begged. Lila promised. The next day, their mother bought ice cream for the heartbroken. Evie's betrayed glare. Lila, at 22, pocketing their mom's diamond earrings after the funeral. She'd want me to have them, she told Evie, who stared, silent, at the casket. The night of the fight. Evie, drunk, slurring, you've always resented me. Lila, cold, at least I'm not a drunk who hides it. The slam of a car door. Evie ripped her hand free. You were never there. Not really. Even now you're just hiding. The ghost dissolved. The blizzard swallowed her wail. Lila clutched the noose. Outside, the storm screamed. Inside, silence. Dawn came bruised and bloodless. The blizzard had strangled the cabin in snow, but the radio crackled to life, warming trend by noon. Roads passable. Lila sat at the kitchen table, the noose in her lap. Evie's Polaroid stared up at her. You left me first. No, Lila said. I stayed. I stayed my whole life. The floorboards creaked. Evie stood in the doorway, translucent now, her edges blurring. Then why does it hurt so much? Lila's confession tore loose like a rotten tooth. I deleted your voicemail. The one you left after the fight. I listened to it once. You said I'm sorry and I couldn't handle it. So I erased it. I told everyone you didn't reach out. I made you the villain. I'm the liar. I'm the coward. I'm sorry. Evie's form flickered. The cabin shuddered. Why? Because if I admitted you tried to fix things, I'd have to admit I let you die. The ghost wavered. For a heartbeat, she was just Evie again, messy bun, coffee stain on her blouse, the sister who'd once stayed up till 3 a.m. helping Lila cram for finals. I forgive you, she whispered. No. Don't. I don't deserve it. It's not for you. Evie's smile was sad. I'm tired of haunting. A gust of wind. The Polaroid ignited, burning to ash. Evie faded, her voice trailing. Live louder, okay? The rescue crew found Lila hypothermic but alive. At Evie's grave, she left 2 items, the cabin's noose and a printed transcript of the deleted voicemail. Guilt's a greedy ghost, she told the headstone. But I'm done feeding it. Back home, Lila started therapy. She texted an old friend. She rewatched Evie's favorite terrible rom-coms. And when the nightmares came, the fingernails on glass, the shadow in the snow, she whispered, I'm here, until the fear lost its shape, but sometimes, in the quiet, she'd hum the melody Evie used to sing in the treehouse. And for a moment, the air would hum back.